Good morning, guys. Welcome to the session today. Hope you all are doing good. So, let us start the session. So, as we planned, we are going to work on this activity today. So, an end to end one. For example, if I wanted to extract the data from the GCS, if it is a CSV file or a JSON, anything, okay, and do some transformations based on the requirement and load it to the BigQuery. So this is what I wanted to do. For that one, let me open any of the data set. Okay, give me time. So I'm gonna give this thing. Okay, wait a minute, guys. Give me 1 minute. Let me take a sample data set, a small data set, and I'm going to tell you how we are going to solve it. And from there, I'm going to tell you how you can able to extract the data from the Google Cloud Storage and it is a CSV file and do one of the transformation, one or two transformations on top of it, and then load it to the BigQuery. That's where you're going to be understanding how you can extract it, do the transformations, and load it to the destination in one single step only. We are going to understand. Okay. So, for example, whenever we wanted to create a pipeline, as I told you, these are the two things that we're going to be following. Okay, so first I'm going to be importing the pyspark module, and after that we're going to be creating a spark session, right? So these are the two things that we must do. So you can say this is a pyspark job one. Okay, so this is your first step, sir. Importing the pyspark module and then creating a spark session. And once the spark session is created, you have a one object, that is spark object. We are going to use that object throughout the entire process, right? Now the first step is extract the data from GCS. Okay, so for example, let me open the GCS. Okay, let me go to cloud storage. So I'm taking any of the bucket for the source. I'm considering this bucket. You see here, one of the file I have here is order items.csv. Okay, order items.csv. So what this file looks like is, okay, so this is how the data is. You can have a plenty of the data as well. For now, I'm taking a sample data. 1 minute, guys. Okay, I'm going to add few more records to this one. So this is how the data should look like, where we have order item and sorry, order, okay, order item ID, then order ID, and we have a product ID, and we have a quantity, and we have a price. So these are the 5 columns that we have. And let me going to be increasing this data set to a few more records. So this is how the data set looks like, where you have almost 20 records of the data. And maybe in the future, you may be dealing with more than this data. But for now, just understand the concept. In this data set, you have like 5 columns: item ID, order ID, product ID, quantity, and price. So let me first load this data to the Google Cloud Storage. Okay. Override the existing object. Unsuccessfully uploaded. Yes, you can able to see it is updated now. And I'm going to be take the path of this particular file. You see here, this is GeoSurl URI. I'm going to be copying this particular path. I'm going to go here. I would say input path. Input path is equals to this one. Okay. So now if you wanted to extract, how do you extract the data from the Google Cloud Storage, sir? So if you wanted to extract, you already know how to extract the data from the Google Cloud Storage if it is a CSV file, right? So for example, you can able to see it here, right? So this one I'm copying and you can paste it here. df1, I would say df1 spark dot, this is the spark object, read dot csv, it is a csv file. Input path I have mentioned here. Header is equal to true because the header is already there. Infer schema is equal to true. If you don't wanted to take the infer schema, you can mention remove. Okay. Yes. Now, until this one, if you wanted to run and you can run it, input path is not defined. Okay. The input path is this one. Or if you wanted to take in for schema also, feel free to do that. Look at here. See, it's running. Okay, it's running. We just wanted to check it out. Just it's running integer, 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 double. That's fine. And you see here, everything is as per my requirement. So I have just created a data frame using the source file. And now I don't want it to print the schema. Now I wanted to do some transformation, sir. Transformations. Okay, if you wanted to do any of the transformations, you can able to do it here, guys. If you wanted to rename a column, this one I wanted to rename a column, sir. This is a very lengthy column. I just wanted to make it as item ID. So I would just say df2 is equal to. So for example, if I wanted to do it, so df1 dot with the column, with the column renamed. Which one we are going to rename it, sir? The column name is this one. That is df1 dot this one. I wanted to rename it with item ID, just item ID, sir. Okay. This is what I wanted to do. Now you can run it. Now you can run it. So somewhere there's a problem. Column is not iterable. Take like this. Put it in the brackets. Okay. See here, I have renamed a column properly. Okay. So this is one thing. And I wanted to do one transformation. One more transformation I wanted to do. Sir, I wanted to add one more column. Or, so let us do this thing. So the business has this use case. The use case is like this. A sample use case I'm taking. It's a part of transformation only. The use case is like this. So we wanted to calculate the total revenue, average quantity, average price per order. Okay. So for each order, we have to find the total revenue, average quantity, and the average price. So these are the three things that we need to do. So for that one, so I'm gonna write it here. Calculate the total revenue. Okay, and average quantity, comma, average price per order. So for each order, we are going to find this thing. Okay, so for that one, we need to write a one more. We need to create a one more data frame. Okay, so that data frame can be like this. Can anyone tell me how to do that? How to do that, sir? We wanted to find the total revenue. First, let us focus on the total revenue. How to find the total revenue, sir? Sum of, right? Okay, sum of price column. That's perfect. Okay, let me just say df3 is equal to which function? Correct, correct. So we will do that one by one. And do I need to do any of the group by order by anything for that? Because we wanted to find per each order. Correct. So group by per each order, right? So for that one, I'm going to take the order ID for each order, right? So I'm going to take the order ID dot aggregation. We need to find the price. For example, if it is a total revenue. So total revenue is nothing but a sum of price. The sum of price. So I have to mention sum of, this is the column price. Instead, I can also mention df1 dot price, right? So sum of price, and I'm gonna say alias total revenue. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. Okay, this is what I am trying to do, sir. I wanted to find the total revenue per each order. See here, the bracket is properly not closed. It's closed now. Okay, and you see here, I have aggregated the data, and I'm using the sum to find the total revenue. And if I wanted to run it, you see here, there will be an error because column is not iterable, so I need to use the price. Okay, so sometimes if this column is not iterable, you can also use one more function, sir. Column function you can actually use. Okay, column is a one more function is also there. I will tell you how you can use this. Okay, so if you wanted to import the column function, you can import it like this. Usually if you wanted to import anything, import it here, sir. Okay, if you wanted to import anything, import it here from pyspark.sql dot functions import column function. Okay, column function I am importing. So let me run it. Okay, this is running, and price name price is not defined. Okay, so it should be in the. Okay, now this will work. Okay, column name is not iterable. Okay, that's fine. I am not iterating it. Okay. Okay, so let me first do import the sum, then it will understand this is a sum function. So that's the reason it may not be doing it. So import the column, comma, I will also import the sum, sir. Sum. Then it will, I think it will run. Okay, let me see now. Okay, it's run. Okay, I did not do df3 dot show. df3 dot show. Now you see it. Okay, so df3, see here, order ID, I have got the total revenue. See, the total revenue is nothing but the sum of the price, the sum of the price per each. For example, for order 12, whatever the order that is there, right? So order 12 is there. Order 12, 1 minute, order 1, total price. So order 1 plus 1 here also. So 30 plus 50, nothing but 80, right? So that is how it is. So when you have a order ID in both the places, likewise, when you have for order 12 also, it is here 12. The total is 75 already. For 11, here also 11, here also 11, we have for 50 plus 30, 80. For the order 11, it should be 80. So that's how it is. The sum of the price for each order. So you have it, if the order ID is multiple times repeated, you have to get the price properly. Okay, so you have to get the total revenue based on the each order. Now this is fine, sir, but that's not the requirement. The requirement is what, sir? We have to find the average quantity as well. Now tell me, sir, how to get the average quantity. Okay, so I'm not doing the this one. I'm not closing this one because average I can directly use it. So slash. So what I will do is that we wanted to find what, sir? The average of all quantity, average of column of quantity, and dot alias. I would just say it is my average quantity, right? So this is how it is. So if I wanted to get the average quantity, average also need to be imported because we are using it. It is also from the same functions. So I will use average also here. So average quantity. So you can see here average column quantity dot alias. Everything seems good. So that's the reason you can actually put it here. average. Something wrong? Yes, here it is, comma. Here it is, comma. Yes. So see here, average quantity also we got. So this is how order ID, total revenue, and average quantity. So for 12, we have only one. For example, one we have, okay, for one, average quantity 2 plus 3 equals to 5. 5 by 2, nothing but a 1.5, 2.5, right? So you have it here. So that is how you should get it. Average quantity also we have got it. And now you have to check it also, sir. You have to do your unit testing as well, because whether the code is properly working or not. If it is not working, that's where the problem is again. Okay, again, the final thing is average price. Average price. The same thing I'm gonna copy it. Average price. Here I just have to mention the price. Okay, average price is equals to this one. And I will say average price. And here it is. Okay. So we will also calculate total quantity also. Total quantity also we will try to calculate. Okay. So for the total quantity also, it is a sum of the quantities, right? So I'm going to put it here. So it is total quantity. Okay. Total quantity. Right. Now you can run it. Now you can run it. See here, you have the total price, you have the total quantity, you have the average quantity, you have the average price. Okay, so this is how you can able to get it. So this is how you need to do the transformations. So sir, if you have to do the transformations, so this is how you need to do the transformations. And if they ask you any other transformations also, you're supposed to do it here. So you are doing mostly the aggregations and joinings and complex things. Most of the times, if you wanted to do any of those things, you can do it here. And if you wanted to get the top one highest sold product, if you wanted to get, you can also do it. So additionally, I'm going to give you the assignment is that, so do this thing on assignment as the assignment for this one. top five top 5 orders as per sales. Okay, we need to just to get the top 5 orders as per the sales, sir. Sales is like total revenue. Based on the total revenue, we need to get the top 5 sales and load it to the destination. That's what the requirement is. I'm not doing that thing, so that I am giving it to you as an assignment. Get the top 5 orders. How do you get the top 5 orders? You already know. You need to add the ranking functions, so that you will be having a rank, and where the rank is less than 5, that all of those records you need to get. Okay, so 5 or 5 more than less than 5 or is equal to 5. For until 5 orders, until 5 ranks, you need to get the order details and load it to the destination. Okay, so that's what you have to do. I don't need all of these things, because see, when I have a total revenue, I may be having here like 12 records. I don't want all of these records, order IDs. I just want only the 5, where those 5 are the top 5 selling items based on the total revenue. Based on this total revenue, top 5 order IDs I want. And for all of those things, find these details and load it to the destination. Now I am loading it to the destination all 12, but you supposed to load it to only 5. Okay, those are the top 5 records. Okay, so this is what it is. Now, once you got this one, where you have done your transformations also. Okay, you have done your transformations also. The next one is load it to the destination. load it to the destination. So now you have to load it to the destination, sir. You already know how to load it to the destination BigQuery, right? So go to write to BigQuery. So you have somewhere write to BigQuery. Get this one, paste it here. Now tell me, is my data frame is DF1 or DF3? My data frame, my final data frame of the transformation is DF3. So you have to mention that. Some people mention DF1 and they will be loading the DF1 data frame to the destination. No. Whatever the final data frame that you got from your recent transformations, you load that to the destination. Okay, now you see here, format is BigQuery. I want the table name going to be, so let me open the BigQuery also. So GCP batch morning, that's fine. Landing dataset, that's fine. Okay, I don't want it to load it here because I look at here. So example dataset, I wanted it to load it to the example dataset, sir. I'm going to copy this dataset. I'm going to copy this dataset. Under this dataset only, I want you guys to create a table. Okay, the dataset is and this thing. Okay, the dataset is this thing. Okay, so project ID dot dataset dot table name is job one. Okay, job one. So this is my table name. Okay, and temporary GCS bucket is fine. You can mention any of the bucket. So I'll just say 3 here. This is my temporary GCS bucket. Temp3 is the folder. Overwrite or append it according to your requirement. You can mention append or overwrite as per your choice. Okay, so this is how you are going to load it to the destination as well. If I run this particular thing, it will be loading it to the destination, right? So let me run it. Something wrong? Okay, something wrong to our cluster. Answer from Java is empty. Py4j error. Okay, let me restart. Let me restart. Okay, it is restarted. The target table, it will create it. Yeah. If it is not there, it will create it. If it is there, it will append it. It is still running. Okay, first showing. Next this one, renaming. Next this one. I think after that, loading it to the destination. Okay, it is still running. It is still loading it. So now you do not know, right? So in some point of time, if you wanted to know the message, if you wanted to write it, so you can also do one thing. Because I don't want it to display the data here today. For my practice, whether the data is low, whether the data is able to, PySpark is able to read the data or not, or do the transformations or not, I wanted to check it. So for that purpose, you are doing it here. But usually you shouldn't do this. Okay, what you have to do, sir, you shouldn't use df1.show, or you can just print message saying that data extracted from GCS successfully. Okay, this is a message. And df2 don't do that, df3 don't do that. Okay, so you can instead you can say that print no completed the transformations as per requirement successfully. Okay, then final one is print loaded to BigQuery successfully. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do, sir. This is what I wanted to do. See, it was running, it was successful. Earlier, what we have ran, right? It was successful. Now, if you go and refresh your data set, this is your data set. Refresh it. See, job one is created. Click on it. All of these details. Click on it. 12, 13 records are there. Click on it. You have your data readily available here. Look at it. Is this the data we wanted or not? Tell me, guys. Right? I wanted to add order by as well. So what I will do is that I'm going to make it as override. I'm going to make it as override. And what I wanted to do is that I wanted to add order by as well. Okay. So that is df4 is equals to df3 dot order by that is df3 dot item id, right? The column name is item id. Yes, item id dot it was ascending or descending. Let us just mention ascending means increasing order, right? Ascending. Okay, ascending. This is what I wanted to do, and just mention that df4 here. Okay, so df3 dot order by and df3 item id dot ascending order. That's perfectly fine, right? You can also use sort also. That's also fine. Sort also you can use. Both are same. Now let me run it. Data extracted from the GCS successfully, item ID, something wrong. Data frame has no object called item ID. Data frame 3, it is not data frame 3, sir. You see here, it is not data frame 3. Right? Data frame 3, it is not this one. I should not run here. Actually should run here. Okay, I should make it as df3 here. And df2, and here it is df4. I wanted to make it df4, and it is df3. Is it it's right, correct? So you hope you are able to follow it, right? So for example, I am loading it. df2 is equal to, I am renaming the column. Then okay, while I wanted to do it, I wanted to sort it. If I sort it here, it will not be doing able to. Okay, 1 minute, let me do one thing, sir. Let me go back. Let me try to do one thing. I don't want this. Okay, let me remove this one. What I will do, it's df3. I'm gonna mention one more dot order by or sort based on the order id. Okay, df2 dot order id, or I can do one more thing also. So I don't want it to call this thing. Okay, I wanted to call this thing. So earlier we have written right correct only. I actually forgot it. This many things I have wrote. Yes. So it is df4 is equal to, it's not item ID, it's order ID. Okay, we have our final column is order ID, right? So this is how, and you can able to now run it. One is extracted successfully, completed the transformation as per the requirement successfully, and the next one is loading is also, we need to look it. See, loaded to the BigQuery successfully. Perfect, right? So we have all the three messages. Okay. And if you wanted to properly maintain it, you can also mention like this: 1, 2, 3. When you are seeing it right, so you'll be able to see properly. Okay. So it will be loading. 1 minute. So load it to the BigQuery successfully. All the three steps are done properly, right? So now you go here. Now you refresh this thing. Now you refresh this thing and click on the job one. It should be modified just now. You see here 9.4. It is 9 4. Okay, sorry, 8 10. It is just modified now. 49 seconds, like 30 seconds before. And if you preview the data and you are having it here, so it's still not sorted it properly, but anyway, it's not a problem. Okay, so usually while loading it, it is different, but maybe while you are having, if you can able to look at the data here, if you look at the data here, then I think you will be able to see properly, right? Let me see if it is working actually wrong, right or wrong. One, okay, something wrong. It's a pi4j error or what? df4 dot show. Ah, yes, it's a pi4j error. Some cluster is having some issues, because I am running the many things on my cluster, so that's a reason. It could be an issue. Okay, it is still running. Okay, let's wait. Okay, extracted. Okay, see here, it is able to do it. See, the ordering is done here properly only, but while it is loading it, the BigQuery is loading. BigQuery is extracting the data in separate way. Okay, while collecting the data, the BigQuery is extracting it. Right. Yes. Yes. So that's the reason. So while you are doing your some kind of analysis, right, you will always be able to sort it in your BigQuery. So that's what. So this is how it is. So I'm gonna remove this show also. So this is how you are going to create a pipeline. Okay, this is a very simple pipeline where I have done only one transformation. But in your company, you may be dealing with some crores of the data. So this data will be having crores of the data, and these transformations will be keep on adding. The only thing that you have to do is that you have to, for example, if it is like a very big complex solution, you have to split it into multiple pieces, achieve it step by step, do one transformation and do the next transformation. Likewise, step by step, you have to come to a data frame where it is fulfilling your as per the requirement, and that's where you have to do the transformations and load the final data frame to your destination. So that's what you have to do, sir. Okay, any questions on this one?
Yes, sir. We like if there are any changes in the
Correct.
GCS bucket file, like data change, how will update in the auto update in data set?
You can do that. Cast off that also you can do it. And if you wanted to do any of the transformation, so I am not mentioning here. That's the reason I told you. So if you wanted to change your schema, also feel free to do that. I told you the method. Use that schema. Okay, if you wanted to change, okay, the only thing that I am focusing on this thing is that I want you guys to look at it the entire one in one single job. So you have seen it. Tomorrow you don't wanted to use this, you can print the schema and you can see it. Okay, I don't wanted to use this schema, I wanted to define my own schema, right? It, you are define your own schema. Even companies also want that. Okay, define your own schema and use it. And one more thing is also there. Okay, the transformations also as per your requirement. Okay, if you are for example, while you are doing some kind of a aggregations on one of the column, but the column is a string column, but it's supposed to be a integer column, you can always cast it and do it. Okay, that step also I have told you. Okay, all the steps are here. That is the reason I have specifically mentioned all the transformation steps in a separate, and now you have to use it here. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yes, correct, 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 correct. Okay. No, you don't execute it here. See, this is I'm just telling you for this purpose, but I'm gonna save this thing. Okay, I'm gonna save this entire pipeline. While I am teaching you the airflow is our scheduler, airflow is our workflow orchestration tool. Okay, yeah, what I will do in the airflow is that, sir, I have some data prog jobs. Okay, data prog, these are all data prog jobs, right? So job one is there, job two, this is what you are saying, you have like three or four or five. Okay, tomorrow you also having some data flow jobs, so that is also one or two or three. Okay, so this is what you wanted to do. I am not telling you to manually run it. For your practice, you are coming to the notebook and you are practicing it and you are coming up to a better version of the code. Okay, you save this code. Okay, you save this code to one of the thing. And what you will do tomorrow is that from the airflow, this is our workflow orchestration tool. You created DAG. What this DAG will do? DAG will submit. DAG will actually create your data pro cluster. What the DAG will do is that DAG will do this thing. DAG will do first, it will create the data pro cluster. Okay. Then once this is task one. In the task two, it will submit all the jobs. Okay, to the cluster. All the data. Yes, not IPY. It is Python notebooks, Python files, .py files, Python files only. Python .py files. .py jobs to data proc. We need to submit it to the data proc only from the DAG. So this is my task one. This is my task two. Task two. Some people wanted to submit the each job separately. Okay, so they don't want to submit all the jobs. Submit first .py file, first .py job to the data proc. And the task three again they do this thing. Okay, task three, if you have like this is 2 pi. This is your task three. And again, for example, if you have like four tasks, I'm taking as a four tasks, the four jobs. Task four, third. So you have three Python files that you wanted to submit it to the data proc. So you don't wanted to create the cluster also. So I don't wanted to create the cluster manually. The cluster also created from the DAG itself automatically and submitting all the jobs. Three jobs I have, sir. All the three jobs also submitted to the data proc successfully. And who will delete the cluster? Task 5 is delete the cluster because our jobs are running and it is successfully ran successfully. Once all are successful, these are my tasks. This is my importance. For that one, I wanted to create a data per cluster that is created. I have submitted all jobs, they are successful. I want to delete the cluster also. So this is how you are going to do it from the Airflow DAG. Okay. So you have three tasks, sir. I wanted these tasks to be run parallelly. You can mention parallel. So these three tasks are not parallel. They are dependent on each other. Task one, task two, task three. So in such scenarios, you have to provide the dependency. Okay. At that time, I will tell you everything clearly. Okay. Yeah. Correct. Correct, correct. So that's what we need, right? We don't want it to manually create the cluster. For our practice to replicate the real world, we are creating it, we are practicing everything. We don't want it. We don't have a permission to create the cluster itself in the companies. Okay. Everything is automated and we have to follow that process. Yes. Any other questions? Yes. Okay. I'm going to give you one assignment, guys. So similar fashion, what you have to do is that it's a bit tricky. I want you guys to take your time and do it. And hope you guys are also doing these assignments. These assignments that I have mentioned I think I mentioned or not, I'm not sure. So you have here tables, data. So manual table, all of these things are there. Do all of these questions, guys. You will get a good knowledge when you are doing this assignment. Okay. So do these things, you will get a very good knowledge. And if you're unable to do it, follow these answers and you will get some idea. Okay. So this is what it is. This is the assignment for the BQ assignment. All of people supposed to do all of these things, guys. Assignment questions are there, answers also are there. Do this thing. And one more thing is for the data talk. So the assignment field I have to add it. Okay. So first thing is lab session trust session is created, and let me download the job one now. Job one is completed now. And don't do any dot show dot things over the file, sir. Maybe I'm telling you today to tell you dot show or print schema. But tomorrow, if it is dot show is running in your airflow does not have a storage, airflow entire environment will fail. Because today I'm just showing some 10 record, but tomorrow when you're working in the real time, when you mention df1 dot show, that's it. Plenty of the data is going to be displayed over the logs. That's where the environment of the storage of the airflow will go away. So that's where the entire environment gets failed. Okay, don't do such kind of things. Airflow is not to store your data. Airflow is to schedule or create your pipelines. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to copy this thing and download it. Okay, you have to come here. That's what why I'm telling these things. You create your data frame, you validate everything here, then finally make it as a pipeline. Yeah. See, even in the BigQuery also, tell me, sir. So if I give you some query, okay, if I give you some query, so this is your query. Okay. So what you have to do, I wanted to get the person whose name is some sham. What do you do, sir? You directly write it one code and give it to the pipeline? No, right? You will come here and check it. Okay, so this is my query, and my manager asked me to get these details, whether my code is working or not. You're gonna be testing it here. You're gonna be selecting the some kind of a query, and you run it and you test it. Everything you do it. Okay, and once you do it and you think that if this is running properly, then you will be giving this particular code to the pipeline. That pipeline will be executing the task. So that is what it is. So that's how you have to. Same thing for the PySpark also. You come to the notebook, you do your work, you do your homework here, and once everything seems good, and if you think that this is as per your requirement, and if you think you have also done the unit testing and all the test cases also you are following, if you done that, then you give that code to the pipeline will ensure it from tomorrow onwards it will run your code as well additionally. Okay, that's what it will do. Yeah. Both the same, sir. Both the same. It's a one-time activity. Job means I'm just creating a job to create. It's a one-time activity. Job is a one-time activity. Pipeline is running. Pipeline, if I have to say, this is the nomenclature. You should not. Yeah. Job one, job or workflow or pipeline or DAG or I think any other things are there. All of these things are same. Okay, all of these things are same. It's nothing but a moving the data from source to destination by doing some transformations. This is a pipeline or a DAG or a workflow or whatever it is. So all of these things are same. Okay, don't confuse. Job or workflow or pipeline or DAG or all these things are just synonyms. For the data, it will be charged on the resources. That means cluster. No, no, no. It will be also, but whatever the cluster you are creating, that cluster is already allocating some kind of resources to you. Okay, for example, you selected three machines. These three machines are totally available for you all the time, highly available for you to all the time. To make these available to you all the time, and the cost is associated from the cluster creation onwards. Okay. Additionally, if you are doing the transformation, sorry, deleted, deleted. Cost, of course, yes. Created to the deletion until whatever the thing, if it is number of machines, all the machines are keep on associating the cost to your existing cost, so you have to pay. That's the reason we never wanted to create the cluster and keep it idle. We create it, we do it, we delete it. Okay. And one more thing I want to guys to do, one thing I wanted to show you first thing. So here I'm mentioning the job one, sir. Attach the file. So here you have the job one. Okay. Job 2, I will tell you maybe after some time, guys, because my MySQL database is not working properly. Okay, the job 2 I will tell you, but the job 2 is also same thing. The only thing difference is you can think of like you are reading the data from some you are reading the data frame from some database. So that's the only thing difference. Other things are same. So I will tell you that. And so for the sample data, you have here the order items already here. You can take these order items, or if you want me to delete this thing and add that order items, then I will add it here. Okay, so this is having some 10 records more, so that's also fine. And these are the notes that you have. Yeah, assignment perspective. So I'm gonna give you some assignment. 1 minute. So plenty of the things are there for the assignment. I want you guys to look at it one by one. Okay. Look at this data. Look at this data, sir. Okay. Look at this data. So do we have a column header? No. Right. And look at this thing. What is this one? Do we have the data here? No. Now, when you look at it, both of these things, what is the link between them? This is data, this is columnist. Okay, usually this is what the trend is. Yes, this is what the trend is. People don't want it to keep the column names in the data itself. So they will be creating their column names dynamically. Okay, and if they change it automatically, the pyspark column names will automatically change it. So that's what they will do. And now you have to do what now? You have to take this code and you have to take this also into the pyspark and create a apply a header dynamically in the pyspark. Apply the header dynamically. So this is what you have to do, sir. Okay, so this is one of the assignment for you. Very, very simple. Those who think that this is data, this is also data, then only you will be able to do it. Okay, this is also data. Yes. No, if you do union, it will be considered as a data. No, it is not data. Okay, do that and show me. Do that and show me. And if it is taking it as a header, then I'm okay with that. Okay, this is one thing. And one more thing is, sorry, I'm going to share all of these files. One more is 1 minute. You can look at, you can, I mean, this is your requirement. If you understand the requirement, you have a plenty of methods. Then tomorrow, today, you will be having nowadays, if you are okay, if you are ready to, I mean, if you are understanding the question properly, you have a plenty of channels available to get the code. So you can also search in the Google and try to come up with a solution perfectly for this one. Okay, so this is one requirement. And one more is also I have case study. I will also explain this one. Or instead of explaining me, I want you guys to spend your time. So I'm going to send you this case study. So this is a wonderful case study. I'm going to send it to you. Spend your time. I'm gonna having the sample data also. This is the sample data for that particular thing, and I want you guys to understand the case study. Okay, look at the case study here. What they are doing. This is entirely one project from one of the POC that I have done, and you can read it out. And what was they saying? What are their principles, and what are the transformation steps they are actually looking for, and try to accommodate all of those things using the PySpark, Python or PySpark. I have mentioned here Python or PySpark. You can do it with the help of the PySpark, and load it to the PySpark notebook and do the transformations. Load it to the destination as a BigQuery. They're mentioning some kind of a database or something, but load it to the BigQuery. Okay, do this thing. Okay, so that is a case study, and for that one, you have here the this is what is your uh, case study workflow, and the files I'm gonna copying it here. Okay, so you have the case study PDF, sorry, PPT, and you have the sample data. Don't look at this thing. This is your ETL script. Finally, you look at it, even though this ETL script is also not perfectly, and you can actually look at it later for your reference purpose only. This is not properly correct, but look at these two things, try to solve it. Okay, these are the things that you have to do. Okay, first load it to the some bucket, load it to the some bucket, and using the PySpark in the data prog, create a source connection, transformations, and destination connections, load it to the destination as a table. Okay, so this is one more thing. And look at the case study, you will understand everything. This is also one more thing. Okay, case study one, I have given you assignment, right? So assignment files, I have to load it. So this is for the applying header dynamically. So for this one, okay, I'm going to mention it here. First assignment is apply header dynamically. Okay, this is your first assignment. For this one, for this one, you have here first data file, header list, and this is your code. Don't look at it. Okay, this is your code. Don't look at it. And final thing I want you guys to do it is, which is very very important, that is assignment 2, which is very very important. If you understand that important thing, that's where you are going to do it. This is cleansing the data. CSV data using the we are cleaning the files, sir. Data cleansing. Okay, so I'm gonna make it this one and this one, and I will show you now what is this the problem with this one. Okay, so this is your, don't look at the code, this is your data. Okay, so I'm going to open this one and tell you, maybe you will understand this thing. I have told you about this thing. And case study, if you read the PPT, you will be able to understand the case study details and sample data also here. So you will understand everything. You have a workflow diagram also here. Okay, for the assignment one also, I just told you, you will be able to do it. And cleansing CSV data, I will open it and I'll tell you how it looks like. And now I want you guys to spend your 1 minute and tell me what is the problem with this data. Spend your time and tell me what is the problem with this data. Okay, null values is bound to happen, it's not a problem. Carefully look at the data and tell me what is the wrong. This is what people do when you go to the production or healthcare. They are actually entering this data like this, and after that the data entry operator will load this data to the one of the CSV file like this, and finally the business wanted to do the analysis. The data, this kind of a CSV data, parquet data, commit to the data engineer, and he has to load it to the databases. Okay, so now tell me what is the wrong with this data, how this data entry operator has read this data and loaded this data. Okay, column and data is different. Okay, so that's actually one good step. Yes, you got one idea. Okay, then how do we?
Need to separate the values by using the comma separator.
Using the column what? Sorry,
Comma
one was
separator.
saying using the column what?
Comma separator. We need to make it as
Okay,
a
that's fine. Comma separated, we will be able to do it. But what is the problem with the data? Tell me the problem and tell me the fix, how to solve it.
ID duplicates.
ID
ID
duplicate.
duplicates, okay. But look at the data and tell me, is it the really duplicates or what? Tell me. Perfect. Yes. So now, instead of one line, it is coming four lines actually. ID is just in the same. Correct. Correct. And do we have the logic also here to make it one line? So this is what, sir. One of the guy has got it, and what he is saying is that look at this data. Actually, this is only one information. Okay, one single guy information only. Okay, but instead of who is entering the data into the CSV, he has entered into the four lines. This is the information of one guy only. Okay, John Wick, his address and his phone number. Okay, and based on the idea only we got to know that. But now tell me how I can get the logic to make it as a single row. What is the logic here to get that? Do we have the logic?
We need to
Okay,
assign the rows.
no. I can't take it like that, right? So because you see here the number of columns here also same, the number of columns here also the number of columns here and here also same. The number of columns are same. I can't separate it like that. Yes. How I can do that now? Tell me, guys. You have the logic also here. If you look at the column names properly, column names and data properly. Hmm. Okay, but how do you take it? So look at the second column. What is the second column saying? Look at the second column and look at the column names. Tell me what is the thing? No. No. Not like that. Look at this. Focus on the second column. Yeah, abbreviations. Tell me the abbreviations for FN. Look at the column names. You will get it. The abbreviation for FN. Correct. And AD means. Yes. The third one, PH means. Now you got it, right? So the guy who has entered the details, he was entering like this. So instead of writing in a single row, he couldn't able to write in a single row. Someone has applied this header later, but he has written like this. First name is John, last name is Vic, address is this one, phone number is this one. Now this file is given it to you, and they are asking you to make it as a single row. Okay, now based on wherever the first name is equal to wherever the F name, and you will get this third column value, right? That is your first name. Wherever it is LN, the first column name, the third column name is nothing but your last name. Wherever it is address, and from here to here, all the details are here. And wherever it is ph phone number, you have to get this, take this and put it here. So that's how you have to do. Okay, so if you have to do it, you have to do like this. My indentation, my id is 1. Group by, I do the id is 1. Indentation, I remove the indentation. I don't want to worry about the indentation. Now first name, how do I get it? Wherever the fn is there, and get that third column and mention it here. Wherever the ln is there, get that third column value and mention it here. Wherever it is address, get that entire thing, paste it here. Wherever it is ph, get that value and put it here. So this is what we have to do. Okay. So this is how you have to do it, and ignore the ID column. We don't want the ID column later. Indentation column, we don't need it. Okay, this is how you have to get it, guys. This is your final. This is what is meant by cleaning the data. You have to clean it properly. These kind of a things you are going to get in the companies very heavily. It's a ad hoc task. You have to do it sometimes, and with the help of the PySpark, it becomes very easy to do it also. So I want you guys to think about it, the logic, and if you're unable to do it, you can also follow the code and try to understand the code. And if you are still unable to understand, I'm going to explain it in the company in the app. Correct. 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 And you have to apply the logic also. If conditions, all of those conditions also you have to do it. Correct. So those kind of things you have to do it, guys, and try to achieve it. And if you are unable to do it, I will also explain in the class. Okay. So you have all the things. I have whatever I have mentioned. So where is the case study? Case study is here. Assignment. Assignment is here. First do the assignment, this one, and then do the case study, and then come to the assignment two. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and likewise, you have a assignment here also. You can also do this assignment also, right? Okay, okay, guys, this is it for today. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me now. For auto scaling, so automatically this will be scaling, guys. So you didn't have to worry about it. But usually, what they do is that they will be taking care of it. Auto scaling kind of a thing will be taken care by the compute options. Okay, and you can take it out. But it's not required because Dataproc also recent update has come up with the auto scaling policies. You see here. Okay, you can actually create your auto scaling policies. If your cluster is having 80% of the CPU running, then you can increase it one more. That kind of things also you can do. Not the developer, not the developer. Okay, so it will be taken care by the infra team, infrastructure team. Yeah. Just to give you idea, because what happens is that, so this is what the company's trend, guys. So you may be working as some developer, you may be working as some software engineer, but down the road you become a senior. You may be some senior data engineer, senior Power BI, whatever you are. But in a senior data engineer, what the people usually go is that they will be going to the solution architect throughout the down the line. So it would be better for us to get such kind of a exposure now itself. So that's the reason. Even I am working as a senior data engineer at my company. I'm having a lot of knowledge on these things, but I am also my down the line. What I'll become is this one. This is what I will be focusing on: solution architect. This solution architect will be focusing on two things: development and architecture. So you should know how to develop the things. You should also know how to build the architecture. Sorry, infrastructure. How to build the infrastructure. So you should know all of both of these things. So now you are already becoming a data engineer. So you are getting these skills, but you should also focus on this thing, and then only you will be becoming a solution architect. Okay. So this is focus on this thing because down the right solution architect having a very good future. So focus on that thing as well. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Which is mostly used, sir? Data frog or
Okay. Okay.
data flow?
Yes, it is possible. It is possible. But usually, if you wanted to do such kind of a things, you have to do the XComs, nothing but a cross communication. But you are making it very difficult. Okay. So it is actually using the extra resources. So instead of doing it, you can actually put it in a single file itself. Okay. You can do one thing is that instead of doing it, you can create a master DAG. Okay, this is your master DAG. This is also DAG. This is your master DAG. What it will do is that it will call, you can think of like a parent DAG, and it will call child DAG. And this child DAG is your PySpark job 1. This is job child 2. Child 2, and it will be your second job. So it will be communicated with this one. And this is your main DAG, right? So that's where this main DAG will make sure that all the child DAGs are can able to interact with each other. Okay. So what are the output of this one? It can be able to take. Okay. Yes. And one more thing is always when you are doing some DAG, you can get some kind of a metadata and provide it to the one more DAG also. Okay. Yeah. This master DAG child, of course, I will. I will. And cross communications also one example I will give. Yes. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah. So one more guy also asking some question. Sorry. Some guy was in between asking something, and I did not focus much. What? Who is that guy? Any questions?
Sir, which like the interface we can see the data wrap and data fusion, data flow,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
mostly used
Data proc is heavily used. Okay. Data
data.
proc and data flow is heavily used for the Spark and Hadoop jobs. And Airflow is orchestrator. As an orchestrator, it will also be heavily used. So you have to focus on all the three. I shouldn't say data proc, data flow, Airflow, which is heavily used. You should focus on all the three. Okay. Yeah. At least data proc and Airflow is must.
This will be used in Java and Python both, right? Data flow.
You can use Java and Python, but yeah, you can mostly people are using it Python. Yes. Yeah. Someone asking a question. Sorry. Data prep and data fusion are also there. So you can think of like a data proc where you are creating a cluster. What the data prep and the data fusion will do is that it is built on top of the data proc and data flow only. So it is also visual interface tools. Okay. Nowadays people are not using visual interface tools where you create the pipeline using visually. Like what I would say graphical user interface. With the help of the graphical user interface, they are creating the pipelines. Like you have a source, you connect the source, and you will be getting one line here, and again you do the transformations. So such graphically you are doing it. So when you do the something graphically, the automation things are very less. So limited automation will be there. So that is the reason people are not using heavily nowadays. So that is the reason also I have not included in my sessions also. Okay, people are not at all using it. Okay, some people might be using it, but very less. Yeah,
Is this useful for the batch update
yeah,
like
yeah, might be.
millions of data?
Sorry, millions of the data.
Like we wanted to run the batch daily basis, like from source we need to extract and load it in
Correct.
the data set. Is this data frac is useful or data flow is useful?
Data proc is useful. Data flow also useful because data proc is to create the cluster. Data flow is to
Create.
without the cluster you can able to run. Yes, it is a serverless. Okay, Monday I will tell you about the data flow. Then you will understand more things about the data flow.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop here for the session today, and let me stop the cluster also. What is this?